Alrighty, y'all. We back with another video. This is kind of part two to the last video. Last video, I was talking about the nature of getting out your body, kind of explaining the astral realm and the etheric plane and the physical plane, how it kind of interacts, what it kind of truly is. I didn't go much into detail because that's kind of like the part one is kind of like the beginner stage of it. But this is if you want to really get deep into it. All right, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on the post notifications. I'm going to be kind of saying the same stuff from last video, but just way more detailed and way more advanced, basically. So basically, where are you when you are out of your body, right? When you try getting out your body and you succeed, where do you go, right? Because most people say when you get out of your body and stuff, you still feel super real and you feel more physical than physical reality. And the reason why is because you're literally accessing Dakota reality, right? When you get out of your body with your astral body, you're getting out with the light body, all right? And this light body is basically the light that's literally inside of your physical vessel, right? And the etheric body, or aka the energetic body, is basically like a condensed version of the astral body, because etheric matter is basically condensed astral matter, and astral matter is expanded etheric matter. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, and astral realm is like the realm of light, and etheric plane is the realm of energy, or the quantum field, you can say, right? And you can say the astral realm is, since it's like the light field, you can say that's the electromagnetic field. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that is that. But what else? It's a lot. It's a lot to this. So you can still see what's going on in the physical plane, right? When you're out of your body, you can obviously what's still going on in the physical plane, but it's like sometimes, like, if you're not intending to do that, or you're just not trained to do that, you're not going to see the physical plane, right? But you can easily see the physical plane just from saying, like, just from wanting to astral project. The same way you can just see the physical plane as how you wanted to astral project. You see what I'm saying? Just like how you can like, if you want to astral project and just walk outside, you can do it the same way, just by wanting to see how the physical reality looks and see how everything is actually moving inside of physical time and stuff. You see what I'm saying? And nobody can see you unless if they, have their chakras and their energetic senses to be able to perceive the astral and etheric realm while inside their body. Then yeah, you'll be able to only see them, and they might feel your energy and stuff, especially if you're like somebody who has a natural high vibration within the etheric and astral plane. You have like an expanded field, which people can actually feel that, and they may not even wonder why. They may just suddenly feel more happy, or the thoughts they have might start amplifying, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They might start hearing ringing in their ears. They might start thinking about you all of a sudden, stuff like that. What else? So thing is, right, when it comes to getting out your body, even though you can do it for fun, right, it is a sacred ritual to do. And I say that because you don't really see a lot of people getting out their body nowadays, right? Like, maybe back in the ancient days, like people in Egypt and stuff, you know what I'm saying, they was like meditating and stuff. They was actually getting involved into other people's dreams, or going inside people's dreams, which is literally just, it's either going inside their dreams, or aka their mind, or their astral mind, or just them actually being in the same astral field, in the same astral plane within the same exact time. So yeah, that's pretty much that. And we can literally still do that nowadays. We can literally do that, but 10 times. But people don't really focus on that. In fact, we actually do that a lot. When you have a dream of somebody, that's not just you imagining them most of the time. Like, unless if it's you, overthinking about them doing this and that and the other, then yeah, it's probably just your own mind. But most of the time, it's not really just most of your mind when you have these dreams. Like, when you have these dreams, you're most likely not making these up. Unless you have like dreams that's like kind of like back to back to back. Maybe you're making them up, or maybe you just have great dream senses and lucid senses, because you dream every day. But you get what I'm trying to say. It's like, how do I say it? It's kind of like, if you are somebody who don't really have dreams a lot, it's just because you're not aware of the other planes, of the other, so of the other matters, basically, like, and like etheric matter and astral matter, and spiritual matter or akashic matter, stuff like that, right? You're not really open to them. Or the mental plane. The mental plane is mainly where you start making stuff up, but then it's kind of like when you have dreams that are scripted and feel like very, very small, and kind of almost like forget them, and they just feel like very scripted, like very limiting. That's mainly within the mental plane. So yeah, that is that. But when it kind of feels like you're just living and just going on about your day, or just figuring out something new, or like stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? That's not inside of your mind. It can be, but most likely it's not. It really just depends on how much of a thinker you are. Cause it's like, I remember I used to always be within my mental plane, but now that I'm meditating and getting into observer states, and basically gaining life force and meditation states, it's like I don't really get into it in my mind unless if I'm trying to reprogram it. You see what I'm saying? Which, that's what I recommend doing if you are trying to go into your mind, because people, like, you can't, like, say this, right? This is an example of the mental plane, right? This one night, this was when I was awake, by the way, at the start. I was trying to astral project this one night, right? So I'm like, you know what? I'm finna just astral project real quick, bro. And this was around the time, like in February. So it's like, I take my deep breaths. And then it's like I end up in this dream state, but I don't know that I'm dreaming, right? Even though I had intended to dream inside of this dream state, or intended to get inside of a lucid dream state, I still didn't fully get inside of it. But see, thing is, even though I was inside of kind of like my mind, inside of the mental plane, right? Not really like my physical brain, but just like the energy behind the brain. You see what I'm saying? The one that's actually able to make it think and visualize stuff and blah, 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 and imagine stuff. It's like that, so, like, I was sitting down in my gaming setup, and something, it was like 2 p.m. Something just told me to just sit back in my chair and just meditate and get out of my body. And I was like, come on, bro. Like, I literally have something to do within like 14 minutes, but then something just kept begging me to do it. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Cool. And it felt like I was literally awake. And even though I was in a mental plane, it can still feel unrealistic, but it can also feel realistic. It only feels realistic when you're stabilized in it. So because I was meditating, I was like stabilizing in it type stuff. So yeah, basically I started meditating and closing my eyes, but then basically I got out of my body while inside of a dream. So yeah, and basically when you get out of your body inside of a dream, that's when it's like kind of, I wouldn't say collapse, because you're still like a part of the dream, but you're not going off the scripts, and you're kind of just like the observer of it. So you're not really part of the dream, you're just observing the dream. And you can like collapse the whole thing and actually go into the real astral plane. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that is that. Um and see, thing is, it's a lot of stuff that you will start to get intuitions about and start thinking about when you start practicing getting out of your body, especially if you're somebody who's trying to, be spiritual or even Christian. You're going to naturally be led towards truth, especially if you're somebody who's not really malevolent, and you're somebody who's, good intentions and stuff. Really, that's it. All you need is good intentions and you'll be all right. Like, you can still have, lies come to you and stuff, but you're either just not gonna remember them as much. Like, you may gain this intuition that's a lie, and you may be like, oh my gosh, no, no way. But then you're just gonna forget about it next day type stuff. Or you see it in a dream, but then it's like, you don't even realize that you had the dream because you kind of just like forgot about it, or, stuff like that. So, yeah. Or it's like, you may believe the lie for like a few days, but then is going to be you're going to be forced to realize the truth. You see what I'm saying? Especially if you're somebody who wants to know the truth and stuff. So yeah, when getting out your body, you can literally know any type of truth. If you want to meet aliens, go ahead. There's good aliens, there's evil aliens. It really depends on what your vibration is on. If your vibration is in like fear-based mode, survival-based mode, you're gonna most likely encounter malevolent aliens. But if you're in a vibration where you just don't allow them type of thoughts or beings around you into your energy field, then you're gonna actually meet the divine aliens, the ones that's actually like how do I say it? The ones that's actually trying to help Earth and actually trying to come down to Earth, right? Because it's like there's also evil aliens trying to come down to Earth, but for non-good reasons. You see what I'm saying? But there's also good aliens trying to come down to Earth for good reasons. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, kind of like how there's literally also evil titans and good titans. Because titans, right? People imagine them as like giants, but that's only when you view them in time and space, like how the Earth is round within time and space. But then when you look outside time and space, the Earth is flat, right? Titans outside time and space is multiple groups of consciousness, or just, yeah, multiple groups of consciousness to the point where they kind of like group themselves into one, and now they're like super duper big. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, that is that. But then there's like also basically fallen aliens and angels and gods and titans. That's basically, they basically still tap into their power because they still basically have the memory and feeling, but they're just not using it for good. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, you can easily defeat these beings and stuff, but it's really if you don't. It's really if you're not in tune with the spirit or God within you for real. So if you're not in tune with the spirit of God within you, you're gonna be cooked. And I know that from experience, bro. It don't matter what situation it is, bro. If you ain't got that spirit, bro, you're gonna be cooked, like for real. What else? You start getting in tune with your spirit way more, especially if you're somebody who's like spiritual and you're trying to be on a spiritual journey while trying to astral project. Like you're gonna be way more in tune with your spirit naturally. Like me, I was like, especially this year and last year, right? When getting out my body, I would get out my body maybe for like a few seconds or a few minutes. I may have a dream where it's like I gain an intuition, or it's like I have embodied something, so now I'm experiencing this version of me, or blah blah blah, right? But then it's like because of that little simple dream, I would gain so many downloads and intuitions and stuff. This is why it's actually sacred, because whatever, if you're trying to get out your body, you have to kind of be like intentional of why you're trying to get out your body, right? Like if you're trying to get out your body to have fun, cool, you can do that, bro. You know what I'm saying? But if you're trying to get out your body because you feel like you need to, because all these other people is doing it and you feel left out, it's not going to really work, because I've felt that before and it just doesn't work. That basically just keeps you in a stuck and uh stagnant vibration. That's what it is. Stagnant vibration. So yeah, and there's no really best times to astral project. You can well, I want to say there's no best times. 12 a.m. through 5 a.m. It don't matter if you astral projecting or not around that time. Being awake or asleep around that time is the best time. I mean, like that's where, like literally, I was just awake around that time before I had went back to sleep around like what 2 3 a.m. I was awake for like what 12, 1, and 2. And I was just off the devices, and I was just getting mad ideas, and I was low key like kind of like imagining my future in a way where it's like I was bringing it into the present moment, but doing it so within my astral, etheric, mental, and akashic field. Or akashic field is kind of like your mental field, but it just depends on which types, what parts you access. Like if you enter the lower parts of your mind, that's like the lower mind. But if you access the middle, that's like the Akashic mixing it with the lower parts of the mind. And then the higher parts of the mind is where you actually reach the higher information, or the Akashic records. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that is that. Yeah. It's like also when you get out of your body, it's literally you're accessing real life. You're literally seeing real life. So not only can you see real life, you can literally see stuff that kind of like mixes in between real life, right? Like imagine your neighborhood, right? Imagine your neighborhood in real life. Imagine looking above it. And imagine getting out your body. You go to the same view on above your neighborhood, but then you see in the middle it's like a cutout space. It's like a cutout space where it's like an astral city or astral neighborhood or something, right? It's like futuristic something, houses, water parks, something, right? But then around that is still your whole entire neighborhood. It's just that little cutout. You see what I'm saying? But even though if you was to try seeing that cutout in real life in the same exact spot, you wouldn't be able to see that. You will only be able to see that via astral senses. And these cutouts are very common within the astral realm. a lot of stuff changes when you go to the astral realm because you're seeing the vibrations of it. You're not just seeing the atomic atoms. And it's crazy because it feels amazing. I've been an astral traveler since I can say confidently since I was 13, even though I wasn't intentionally doing so, I have been wanting to do so. And ever since that point, I just been kind of led to the astral realm, right? By, seeing astral cities, arenas, astral friends. Bro, it was so amazing. Seeing cities outside of Earth, it was so amazing, bro. Meeting aliens and stuff outside of Earth. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. Um, like literally, it was just so amazing, bro. Honestly, I loved it. But it's like your thoughts. Let me say this too. Your thoughts also very much dictate your reality, right? This is why I always love to tell people take some deep breaths, even if you're not meditating. Taking deep breaths gives you more consciousness, life force, and astral light, and akashic information, right? Now, with this, you basically become all of your fields become more expanded, and your cells in the physical reality start to look younger, and all that other stuff, right? You start having more energy in the physical realm, and even in the non-physical realms, and stuff like that, right? Like if you're somebody that has no energy in real life, that's low key because you're not tapped into your non-physical senses, or you are tapped into them but you just don't have energy in them, so you have to fill up your energy. And it's not by eating, it's not by drinking. You can drink and hydrate yourself in your throat, you know what I'm saying? But that's really only the reason why I drink now. Cause it's like, I might eat here and there, you know what I'm saying? Cause that's just how I am. But it's like, the more I've tapped into these states of my soul, my spirit, source, my divine self, my inner child too, it's like, I don't want to eat as much. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when I'm like working out and stuff, like I might, you know what I'm saying? My stomach might start feeling nauseated and stuff, but I still don't feel hungry. But then it's like I realize I don't like when people say they don't have an appetite, that is just because something is telling you to fast. And I've realized that now. Like I realized I would be hungry back in the day, but then once I get the food, I'm not hungry no more. It's not because I'm hungry physically, it's because I'm trying to gain some type of energy within my sacral and solar chakras. You see what I'm saying? So all I gotta do for at least like 5 minutes and I'm good, you know what I'm saying? Like for real, for real. Meditation is real good because it really stabilizes your field, bro. People need to stop sleeping on meditation. Because I be telling people about meditation and they be trying to go off topic and all that. No, meditation is going to help you. It's probably going to be the most useful thing ever. Cause, you know, you can definitely pray and all that, but it's most likely not going to stabilize your field, especially if you don't know what you're saying or what your intention is or what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? Once you start meditating for a good 50 deep breaths, then you're good, bro. You already gained the codes that you needed for the hour. You see what I'm saying? But once you start meditating for longer, you start gaining the codes that you need for the whole day, and then for the whole week, and then for the whole month, and even for the whole year. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that is that. And when you get out your body too, especially if you're somebody that's like very tapped in with your inner child, because your inner child is I'm gonna have to make a separate video about this because I did say oneness and the inner child or talk about that in the video, but I want to talk about the inner child specifically. But I'll give like a short example of what the inner child really is. It's not just your childlike self. It is literally the truest and purest energy within your soul and spirit. The energy that actually had it to where you were aligned, right? So when you start feeling like your true self, your true childlike self, or even just your true whole self, your true soul self, that's your inner child or your inner child. You don't have to think of it as like your childlike self. You can just think of it as like your purest energy. You know what I'm saying? When you were like the happiest, when you actually were before the conditioning of the world. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I've been tapping in with my inner child way more and it just feels so amazing. But even then when I was, not intentionally tapping in with my inner child, but just doing stuff that me as an inner child likes, I would have dreams of me going outside the cities and inside of astral cities on Earth and astral arenas with family and friends and even soul neighborhoods. It was just amazing. You know what I'm saying? I would go like on missions on Earth. I would just do a whole bunch of stuff. Like I would even astral project into like video games and stuff, bro. It was just amazing. But it's like also when you raise your vibration, right? This is why I tell people stop overthinking, bro, because it's not worth it. Like all this worrying that you're doing, and you swear that you high vibrational and all this stuff, you just lying, bro. You should straight lie to my face. Because how you still stressing about the world and stuff and what it's got going on? You ain't supposed to be stressing about nothing, not even about yourself, because you're supposed to know, right? But thing is, when you raise your vibration, you're always going to be naturally attracted to truth. It don't matter what type of truth it is. Even though people can say BS to you, you're gonna naturally know it's BS. You may not think automatically in your head, yeah, that's some bullshit, but you're just gonna kind of like know, like that don't really resonate with me. You know what I'm saying? That's not really true, bro. You know that's not true. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, for real. So yeah, when you raise your vibration, you're gonna be naturally attracted towards truth. And on a low vibration, you can be attracted towards truth, but it's not necessarily truth in a way where it's like eternal truth or soul based truths. It's basically 4D based truths, or basically kind of like theories before they're understood. Basically, it's basically like 4D is kind of like the contemplation, and 5D is when you actually are understanding, or 5D is aka the soul state, right? That's why when people say when you're tapped into 5D consciousness, you feel love, peace, unity, wholeness. That's not because you just in a new dimension. That's because you're actually tapped into the awareness of your soul and actually how your soul is experiencing life. So if you don't feel love, that's because you're not tapped into your soul. You should always feel love, okay? You should always feel love, and you should always feel eternal. If you don't feel eternal, you're not tapped into your spirit. I mean, I wouldn't say that's, you know what I'm saying? It's just that you're not tapped into certain parts. Because you can still be tapped into your spirit. You're just not tapped into all the parts that you may need to be. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. I mean, there's realms such as the Akashic Records. You can literally find out your starseed heritage. And thing is, starseeds, this is the fun fact. Starseeds are actually the real aliens on Earth, right? Because aliens are really just a foreign species, right? So, or that's what my intuition told me at least. I don't know if that's what it actually means, like in a dictionary book wise, but like literally it's a foreign species. So like Syrians, Lyrians, Andromedas, Arcturians, what else? I mean, Andromedas, I believe I said that. Pleiadians, you know what I'm saying? Nordics. Those are all aliens, but those are all also star seeds, right? I am a star seed. I am an alien. My mom is a Syrian. She is an alien, right? Or, that's what she had researched. So yeah, basically, yeah, we're all basically some form of alien, because we're all really not human. Like when you kind of like gain the understanding, hold on real quick. It's like it kind of amazes me when people are kind of stuck in illusion, like we're just humans and we're not gods and we're not aliens and blah blah blah, because we're literally controlling the physical vessel. Thinking that you're a human is like thinking that you're the car. No, you are the driver of the vehicle. You are the god beyond the physical vessel. Or else you would not be able to literally think for yourself inside this physical vessel. You wouldn't have a sense of free will. You wouldn't have a sense of thought for yourself. You see what I'm saying? You wouldn't have a sense of self to begin with. So, yeah, that is that. And do I need to talk about anything else? It's like, hold on, man. My brother low key keep distracting me, but what is it? So, is he trying to do it again, bro? Come on, man. I'm trying to make a video, bro. But it's like, yeah, bro. We're like literally you're the driver of the vehicle. You're the consciousness behind the human. So you thinking that you're a human is actually separating You're literally separating yourself from your true self when you think that you're the human instead of the energy behind the human, or aka the soul, the spirit, the God, the consciousness, the source, um, the astral or etheric body, all that. You know what I'm saying? Not just one of those. It's actually all that. So yeah. But yeah, when you start getting out your body more, especially if you're somebody who's trying to be higher vibrational and stuff, you're going to be naturally attracted to what you want. Like, people might think when you tap into your soul and spirit, you might tap into stuff that you're supposed to, and because of that, it may not be what you wanted. It's not going to be what your human mind wants, because your human mind doesn't want what your soul wants. And even if it does look like it does, you're still going to had to train it to actually be like that. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Just know you can literally access anything when out of your body. I mean, I haven't accessed the Akashic records in the way that I wanted to, in the way where it's like I actually saw a whole library, but I've gotten a lot of intuitions about reincarnation, about how to astral project, stuff that you can do while astral projecting, different realms, star seeds, their traits, and how to do this and how to do that in the astral and etheric plane, what the astral and etheric plane actually is, and blah blah blah. You can meet your soul family, your soul friends. And you can meet not only can you go to the Akashic records, you can go to the universal records or omniversal records, which is the omniversal records is basically the records of all of creation, all, 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 beyond infinite. Like, just imagine infinite going beyond infinite. Like, just imagine a field expanding, but it just never stops. You see what I'm saying? That's basically that. And you can literally access any type of information. So yeah, you can do anything. Don't let people, like, when you actually get out your body more, you actually realize people don't have control over you, because you can literally control them and influence their mind while either inside of your body or out of your body. Like, you can actually do that. And you can actually do it. Like, you can, like, do it. Like, see, bro, I've also experienced, so this is what I've been wanting to say now that I think about it, because someone else has said it. Frequency really does help, right? So I haven't used frequency a lot lately, but mainly when I was first astral projecting this year and last year, I was using 555 and 444 hertz, like, and even 666, 777, 888, 999, and 111. I was using them hertz while, getting out my body and stuff, and it was amazing. I'm gonna say that it definitely does change your field up, especially when you're within the present moment. And the best way to astral project is being within the present moment. If you're not within the present moment, it's not gonna be easy. When you're within the present moment, you literally tap more into time itself and even go outside of time, which is why you might even start feeling way more divine. You might start feeling like you're the only real person in this world. You might actually start seeing the patterns in this world and blah blah blah. So yeah, that's the end of today's video. Um, I believe it is, right? Is that all we're gonna talk about? Yeah, just know you can literally do anything. Don't limit yourself. When you limit yourself, just know you're separating yourself from what you truly want to do. If that's the life you want to live, then go ahead. I mean, I ain't controlling you. Fuck.